public service. Thank you for joining today's podcast, which is called the Public Service Spotlight. This is the podcast that will teach you how to do your next move, your best move. I'm your host, Nija, and I'm accompanied by an amazing co-host today.
Hello, public service seniors. I'm your co-host Delwin, and I'm also accompanied by one of our senior classmates, Leslie, and our amazing Chris.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
We also have a guest, Melanie, which is one of our seniors at public service.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to the podcast.
So today's quote is, "A leader takes people where they want to go, and a great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be." And that is a quote from Rosalind Carter.
I like that quote. Say that again.
A leader takes people where they want to go, and a great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to be, but ought to be.
Oh, nice. I like that. Okay.
So we're going to do a check-in. Check-ins allow us to connect with people and get closer and learn more about each other. So let's start off with some questions.
So we're going to start off with a question, and the question is, what is a personal win for you? So during this pandemic, everybody is going through rough times, and we don't know what everybody's going through. So we want to check in and know what's a dub for you during this pandemic. So let's start off with Coach Chris.
Sure. So what's a personal win for me through this pandemic has been just really being able to spend time with my family and friends. Before I was traveling a lot, and so I wasn't able to kind of dig in one place. So I think spending time with my family has been quite nice, and it would change for me.
That's good, Leslie.
I have to agree with Coach Chris. I think spending time with family is really important because my parents during this time got tested positive, so it was difficult spending time with them. So, but they're good now, which is good, which is my personal win.
That's good. And Melanie?
Yeah, I agree because my dad used to go to work all the time and we would go to school. So every time we came home, we would always go to work. But now that we're here in quarantine, we almost play every single day any game that we can. And it's just really fun. Even though the energy is so weird, we can still have fun indoors.
So for me, I kind of relate with Leslie. My dad got COVID, so it was kind of tough, kind of scary, but gladly me and my mom got tested negative. So that's another relief and a win for us. And another win is like my dad going through the whole experience and coming out good. And now he's working and we're all healthy at the moment.
I would have to agree with Melanie. This pandemic has brought my family closer together. We spend more time together, so that's what I enjoy about that. So our next question, next we have our topic, which is motivation. So we're gonna start off by asking a few questions related to motivation. So the first is, how are students dealing with virtual learning? What are some pros and cons about dealing with virtual learning? Let's start off with you, Melanie.
I feel like virtual learning is difficult for everyone because that talking to other students, that talking personally to the teacher is now difficult, and we can hide behind the camera. But even though that's a con, I feel like a pro is like being able to wake up comfortably instead of having to wake up earlier in the morning and going to school. But now we feel safer, but I feel like if we have a question, it's harder to say it because we're in Zoom and it's not easy to talk to. Even though it's weird, it's easier to talk to the whole class when you're in the class than Zoom. That's what I feel like.
I agree. How about you, Leslie?
I think I have to agree with Melanie. It's easy to hide behind a screen and not participate. But I think it's really important to stay engaged when in class because you can easily get lost and get behind. I think that's something that's very difficult. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I could like really agree with you guys. Not and really a con for me is very like being at home and having your TV, having the bed close to you, and like getting really lazy. Oh, that's a con for me. Like just getting lazy doing the work, being on a screen the whole day, and still have to do homework in a screen after class. That's a con for me. But a pro is like we could say it's like we're more safe at home. We're not as we're not as like involved to get sick. So that's a pro for me. What about you, Nigel?
I agree with your pro. A pro is that we actually have like the technology that we need in order to like continue to go to school. Um, a con is that like I don't like being at home because home is like comfortable for me. It's hard to like stay focused and do work from home, you know? So yeah. What you think about this, Coach Chris?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And being at home, I think it's easier to get distracted. And then when you don't necessarily have the classroom or your teachers or your peers to keep you on track as you do when you're actually in school on the campus, I think it's easier to not participate, like what you said, Leslie and Melanie. Just I think sometimes it's students find it easier to turn their video off and walk away.
Correct. So the next question we're gonna ask is, what is your definition of success in your eyes? What does success mean to you guys? So let's start off with Melanie. What's the definition of success to you in your eyes?
Success is always seen as like money and having a job, and even though I want that, and to me that is successful, I feel like the real goal, the real success is being happy. Like you can have money, you can have a car, you can have everything and not be happy. But I feel like to be successful in life, you have to be happy.
Success.
The definition of success, I think the definition of success for me would be um, always trying to be a better version of yourself while empowering others, right? How many people could you help while you come up? So I think success could be defined in so many ways, but for me, I think that would be the one that hits home. Um, Making sure that I touch as many people as I can.
How about you, Leslie?
I would have to agree with Melanie because to me, success is being happy with what you're doing. So I think like as long as you're happy doing what you're doing, then you're successful.
I would have to agree with you guys too. I think happiness is a big part of success, and I would also like to say that helping my family out is also a big reason why I do what I do and work so hard in school is so that I can not only help myself but help my family in the future and make them happy.
Well, yeah, I mean, our parents do everything for us and make sure that we have everything provided for us to be successful. And I feel like providing back to my family is something that I see as success for myself.
Right. So the next question is, how has public service prepared you for college? Let's start off with you, Melanie.
It's funny though, because I wasn't supposed to go to public service or Diego Rivera in general. I was supposed to go to Mount St. Mary's High School, and but it was too far, and I ended up going to public service with the rest of my siblings. But I don't regret it because I feel like if I didn't go there, I would probably be lost because they taught me about majors, they taught me about how degrees work, and they taught me more when I was afraid when I entered as a freshman. When I entered as a freshman, I was scared because I didn't think I was prepared enough to go up to be a senior. But now I'm a senior and I feel like I know what I'm doing. And that's only because public service has helped me so much and taught me about college. And the reason why I want to go to the colleges I do right now is because of public service. Because they gave me the materials and they showed me programs, and the teachers there have kind of given me the path to go to where I am right now.
That's awesome.
So what do you think, Leslie? How has public service prepared you for college?
I think the staff in our school is really, really good. Like they're always helping, like our counselors and our teachers. I feel like they're so helpful and go out of their way to like help us in any way possible. So I think public service has helped me. Like even if you're not in Avid, which we are, but even if you're not, they always like encourage you and help you like with what to do in the next steps of proceeding to going to college.
Well, yes, I totally agree with you guys. Public service is an amazing school. Although students who are not very like involved in school, who are not are very shy to join things, our counselors, our staff does a great job in to make sure those students know what they're doing, and as well as having the peer forward program. Like our school didn't necessarily need to have this program, but knowing that this program very helps our peers that are on the 12th grade and 11th grade or even all the grades be involved and know what their next step is. Yes.
I'll have to agree with all of you guys. We have like an amazing staff that's always there, like no matter what. Like they don't have to even be our teacher, necessarily be our teacher, just as long as like they know that we need help, they'll always be there. And I also like that our school provides us with like a lot of programs. And yeah. So our next question is for Dylan.
How, how do you deal with stress? What are some things you guys do through these stressful times? You know, being in front of a camera the whole day, or not necessarily in the camera, but like in the computer the whole day. Being inside, not doing much. We can't really do much because of this whole situation. But what's some things you guys do really stressful times? Let's start with Melanie.
Okay. I feel like stress is always going to be a part of everyone's lives, and it's going to be like the most difficult thing to shake off. But what I do to de-stress myself is basically remind myself that I'm not just doing homework. I have a life. I don't have to be on the computer all day. So if I'm at a certain point or a certain time, like 2 hours, and I'm doing homework, I'll tell myself to stop, put my laptop to charge, and go to my family and just talk to them. It doesn't even have to be anything big. It's just being able to talk to somebody or play games with somebody. Or listen to music with somebody. It's like a big change in your mood in the day. So and then I have a lot of pets. I have a lot of pets. So I always try to spend time with all of them. So that's what I do to de-stress.
How many pets do you have?
8.
8.
Yeah.
8 pets. So what do you do, Nigel, to relieve stress?
I agree with Melanie, just taking time away from the computer since we're all always in front of it, like during school. I like to connect with others, like talk to my friends, call my family, and just remember that I have a life outside of school, so I won't get so overwhelmed. How about you, Leslie?
I have to agree with you and Melanie. I think it's very stressful just being in front of a computer all the time. So it's good to like step away from it. So what I like to do is like I like playing video games with my best friend, and like also like interacting, like being in contact with your family and friends is like really important during the situation because like you don't see them. So I think staying in contact is really important too.
Honestly, sometimes what I do just to relieve stress is take a nap after school. Taking a nap is just like, I guess you take a nap and like after taking a nap, my head doesn't hurt no more basically. So I just rather just take a nap right after school. That's what I do.
Yeah, I agree. So it's funny that you say that. I like taking naps because I get to re-energize. But one of the things that I've learned is taking time for yourself and whatever you can do to really be healthy, right? So like for me, it's like working out or getting out and getting a quick run in.
Yes.
Okay, so our next question is, what are some positives that came out of this COVID situation? I know that there's been like a lot of negative things going on with the disease and the death rates going up, but what are some positives that came out of this? Let's start with Coach Chris.
So I think some positives that's come out of this is um, where I think you have students who are having a hard time staying focused and participating. I think you also have students that are really connecting with other students because they understand that they might have a home situation that's worse than others. So I think the support that other students are getting from students and faculty at schools have been quite amazing, to be honest.
Well, some things that I could say that are positive things that have came out from this whole COVID situation is probably just enjoying the things that we had before. Like probably like even going to school. Everybody didn't really like going to school. Well, like waking up in the morning and you know going to school. Not everybody misses that. Going to the store, even without a mask, people like myself really didn't like to go to stores. Like just now that I really miss it. Just the little things that make life good, you know. Those are the things that I really miss, and we all learned that to enjoy the little things. It's probably something that came out good from this the whole COVID situation. What about you, Nigel?
So a positive that came out of this, I would say I would like agree with you. It taught me how to enjoy the simple things, such as like spending like time with my family, even though even if it's just like being in the same room together. Like that's what I enjoy. How about you, Melanie?
I agree because I feel like I miss the little tiny things that we used to do as a family because me and my family are very close. So at times on Saturdays we would go to Denny's and then we'll go to the mall and then we'll just shop and it was just for no reason. Or my mom sells Tupperware and we would go for long drives to somewhere far from our house. And I just appreciate like vibing to the music with my mom and just being with my mom. And since a lot of my family members have caught COVID as well, not from my immediate family, but from my dad's side, it kind of scared us, especially my dad, who I haven't really seen scared. So it kind of made me appreciative of my family. And it's just the small things that matter in life.
Yes. What about you, Coach Chris?
I think I started that question off, but Leslie, what do you think?
I have to agree with you guys. I think it was like the little things we took for granted, like before the COVID situation, like even just like hanging out after school, like I miss that. But it's like I guess you got to implement like something else for that. So I think like the positive from the situation is like being able to stay in contact with others, even though it's difficult.
Okay, so unfortunately, that is all that we have for today. Thanks for listening and thank you for joining us today, Melanie, Coach Chris, and Leslie. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at pscs.peerleaders for more senior information or information in general. Um, and I am your host, Nija.
And I'm your
I'm
co-
Nija.
and I'm your co-host Zelen.
And thank you for joining us and see you next time on the Public Service Spotlight.
Bye, guys.
Bye.